Welcome to Channel Trump's latest trade meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has laid bare just how desperate the U.S. president has become. Despite Trump's attempt to project friendliness, assuring that Canada will be very happy with any future deal, the truth behind the scenes tells a different story, one that seriously undermines his administration's credibility. Held at the White House on Tuesday, this meeting marked Carney's second visit since taking office in March, and offered a revealing glimpse into how Trump's trade strategy is beginning to backfire, both politically and economically. Our team is already on the ground, and another delegation just departed, a senior official noted, but the optics of the meeting alone paint a troubling picture. Trump greeted Prime Minister Carney with effusive praise, calling him extremely popular and a world-class leader. Yet behind this carefully staged diplomacy lies a stark reality. Canada is still the only G7 nation without a finalized trade deal under Trump's administration this year. Far from being a show of strength, that gap highlights a serious failure in Trump's negotiating strategy. His approach has often resembled economic warfare against one of America's closest allies. He's imposed a punishing 35% tariff on Canadian imports, with exemptions limited to goods covered under the USMCA, the very trade pact he once touted as a personal triumph. To make matters worse, his administration has introduced sector-specific tariffs that are hammering key Canadian industries, a 50% levy on metals and 25% on automobiles. During the meeting, Trump attempted to defend this combative stance, describing the U.S.-Canada relationship as one of natural conflict. Speaking to reporters, he claimed the two nations share mutual love, even as he acknowledged they sort of hurt each other. The contradiction underscored the deep confusion at the heart of his trade strategy. This contradictory messaging exposes a president who's clearly lost control of his own narrative. During the meeting, Trump pointed to the auto industry as justification for his harsh trade measures. "The problem is they want a car company, and I want a car company," he said. "They want steel and we want steel." But this zero-sum mindset betrays a fundamental misunderstanding of how deeply intertwined the U.S. and Canadian economies are. Modern manufacturing, especially in sectors like automotive and steel, depends on integrated cross-border supply chains. Trump's approach not only ignores that reality, but actively undermines the very industries he claims to protect. What's especially revealing is how dramatically Trump's tone has shifted compared to his dealings with Carney's predecessor, Justin Trudeau. This time, Trump showed an almost uncharacteristic warmth toward Carney, praising him as a tough negotiator, and even joking that Carney could represent me anytime. But this isn't genuine diplomacy. It's damage control from a president who recognizes that his hardline tactics have left the United States increasingly isolated from one of its closest allies. And despite all of Trump's trademark bravado, he insisted that Canada would ultimately walk away very happy from the negotiations, a claim that seems more like wishful thinking than a reflection of the reality on the ground. Yet despite all the optimistic rhetoric, no concrete agreement emerged from Tuesday's meeting. Canadian Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc characterized the talks as successful, positive, and substantive, but when pressed for details, he admitted that both leaders had simply instructed their teams to move swiftly toward reaching agreements in key sectors, including steel, aluminum, and energy that in diplomatic terms. That's code for nothing tangible was achieved. The economic reality tells a far harsher story. Recent parliamentary debates have laid bare the real cost of Trump's trade policies. Opposition leaders noted that since the Prime Minister's initial pledge to secure a deal by July 21st, U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods have actually doubled. The fallout has been severe, an estimated $52 billion in lost investment and 86,000 jobs wiped out across key industries. Back home, the situation is just as grim. Canada's unemployment rate has climbed to 7.1%, its highest level in nearly a decade. With 75% of Canadian exports destined for the U.S., the country remains America's second-largest trading partner and its top foreign investor. During the meeting, Prime Minister Carney underscored this deep economic interdependence, noting that Canadian companies have poured more than $500 billion into the U.S. economy over the past 5 years alone. At Trump's latest trade meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney underscores just how precarious the U.S.-Canada relationship has become under his leadership. For Canada, the stakes couldn't be higher. Trump's policies are jeopardizing one of America's most vital economic partnerships, and largely for the sake of political theater. The USMCA trade agreement, which Trump once hailed as a signature accomplishment, is now in danger. The deal is set for review next year, and Trump has already suggested he might scrap it altogether in favor of separate bilateral deals with Canada and Mexico, a stunning reversal of his own first-term trade policy. Meanwhile, Carney has been forced to navigate a diplomatic tightrope. Unlike his predecessor Justin Trudeau's more confrontational style, Carney has sought to reduce tensions while still defending Canadian interests. During his first White House visit in May, he pointedly told Trump that Canada is not for sale and never will be, a sharp rebuke to Trump's bizarre musings about Canada becoming America's 51st state. The broader context only makes Trump's position weaker. As he continues his trade war with Canada, other nations have been quietly finalizing stronger trade deals with Washington. Canada now stands as the